Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This is a summary of the Ukrainian front. It's an update coming from the Ukrainian side, so put your Ukrainian filters on. And as I said, this is a general overview provided by the Ukrainian General Staff military personnel, blah blah blah. So let's go and see what's going on here according to Ukrainians. This article comes from Ukrinform and it is from today, the 6th of February 2023. All right, let's see what's going on here. War update. Ukraine army repels enemy attacks near 14 settlements, including Bakhmut. When you repel, that means you are defending yourself. And the other guys are in an offensive, most likely, right? In the past 24 hours, the armed forces of Ukraine have repelled enemy attacks near 14 settlements in the Donetsk region, including Bakhmut. The relevant statement was made by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. In particular, Ukrainian forces repelled attacks by Russian occupiers near such settlements as, and they will give us about 10 here, like Vasyukivka, then Parskovivka, Bakhmut, Ivanivske, Kamyanka, Severne. The thing is, I read this every day and I see certain kind of towns that do not sound familiar. I mean, if I compare them with whatever I read yesterday. So that tells me the front moves. Otherwise, I would use the same thing in this area. Like in particular, these things, I don't remember that one or this one. But anyway, let's see. According to the General Staff, Russian troops are focusing efforts mainly on conducting offensive actions in such directions as Kupiansk, Liman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Novopavlivka. Kupiansk is the latest in this, in the four. So now there's 5 directions, fronts, lines of attack. And I'm quoting, during hostilities near the city of Bakhmut, that's the hottest place in Ukrainian front, there was a complete lack of coordination and interaction among the servicemen of Russian occupation troops and the so-called Wagner Group's mercenaries, end quote, the report states. Well, if there is a complete lack of coordination and interaction, I don't see how they could advance, right? Right. So then if they advance with all this so-called complete lack of coordination and interaction, if they attack and they are able to advance, what does that tell us about your capabilities, Ukrainian army? I mean, if those guys are so disorganized and still, if it is the case, advance, then what is going on in your group? These are just, they just don't see it from at least 2 sides. They always see it from one side, obviously, and they expect us to do the same thing. Over the past day, Russian invaders have launched 4 missile strikes on civilian infrastructures, of course, in Kharkiv and Donetsk region, Druskivka. The enemy also opened fire with multiple launch rocket systems, MLRS, 56 times, namely on civilian objects in Kherson. Casualties among civilians were reported. The threat of Russian air and missile attacks is remaining high all over Ukraine. And now they tell us here that in the Volyn, Polisia, Sivyersky, and Slobozansky directions, no enemy offensive groupings were detected. The enemy shelling was recorded near the Chernihiv region, the Sumy region, and they give us about 7 settlements, and the Kharkiv regions, Strelyecha, Neskuchne, Ternova. I never heard of these things before today. Now these are in the north, the Sumy region and Chernihiv, and these are in the north side of the front. In the Kupiansk direction, Russian invaders opened fire on the Kharkiv region, Pischanie, Ivanivka, Kucherivka, Kislivka, and Kotlyarivka, and the Luhansk regions, Novoselivske and Stelmakhivka. In the Liman direction, Russian occupiers shelled the Donetsk regions, Terny, and the Luhansk regions, Makivka, Ploshchanka, Nevske, Chervonopolsk, Spivka, Kremina, Kuznie, and Dibrova. In the Bakhmut, remember, Kupiansk, Liman, and Bakhmut and Avdiivka are offensive operations, and in Novopavlivka. So right here, all these little paragraph, let's put them this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are offensive operations, and this is how they they report it. In the Liman direction, Russian occupiers shelled, pop. Okay, in the Bakhmut direction, over 25 settlements came under enemy fire, including Donetsk regions, Spirnia, and and New York, even New York. Jesus, okay. In the Avdiivka direction, Russian troops launched artillery strikes on Avdiivka, Sieverne, and about 7 other more. In Novopavlivka direction, Russian invaders used tanks, mortars, and artillery to attack the Donetsk region's Vuhledar, which is, again, I think I read somewhere that Vuhledar is under deep doo-doo. In Zaporozhye direction, so this is going down south, over 30 settlements came under enemy fire, including 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and Kamyansk. In the Kherson direction, this is the southern area next to Crimea, Russian occupiers shelled the city of Kherson and the Kherson's Zolota Balka and others, about 20 settlements in total. Over the past day, Ukrainian air forces have launched 9 strikes on enemy clusters and 1 strike on Russia's air defense missile system position. Ukraine's missiles and artillery units hit 1 Russian command post, 8 enemy personnel clusters, and 1 ammunition depot. So this is the update that these guys gave. And they say right here on this, yeah, okay. They say Monday, February 6th, 2023, and it is at 16:50. So that is 4:50 p.m. This is their update today, the 6th of February. Okay, well, if you say so, must be true, because we believe these guys, right? In any case, the Russians, based on the information I have so far, are on the offensive, or at least they're advancing on 5 fronts, according to articles that I covered yesterday and the day before. And Bakhmut is about to be encircled. The Ukrainians keep their mouth shut today. Yesterday they said, well, the situation is not going very well, but anyway, we're still resisting and we're never going to give up. But in case we have to retreat, that's what the British intelligence said. They didn't use the word retreat. They said something like regroup. And the Ukrainians, again, by that report coming from Great Britain, are building new defensive positions behind. That means those were not planned if they're new. And if you think about doing that, what do you think is going to be the next move? You're going to retreat behind those, right? Right. So they will not give you, oh, you know what, we lost and we retreat and that's it. No, they're going to give you like euphemisms, or if you read within the article or other articles, sometimes unrelated to the Bakhmut, they will give you some information like that, where, oh, we build new defensive fortification, I don't know, west of Bakhmut or something like this, and you think, why do you need that for? Because you're losing and you're going to retreat behind those, obviously. All right, I don't employ manpower and time and resources to do that if you don't think you're going to use them sometime. When are you going to use it? 2 days ago? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.